everybody, and welcome again to another edition of the Backyard Diamond. I'm your host, biggsdaddycool. You can find me on Instagram, Snap, Twitter, Net54, wherever you see biggsdaddycool. It's me, it's that B-I double G. Anyhow, today we're going to talk about a nasty little thing that dealers and collectors fail to recognize or fail to want to admit, I would say, is probably the biggest thing. Sales, right? We're in sales. Whether you want to admit it or not, this whole industry is built on sales. I have had people tell me for the last many years, you don't want to get into a card shop, you don't want to do something like that, you're going to lose money, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Bottom line is, you need to understand that the nature of the business is sales. And if you're not skilled in sales, yes, you will not make money. Everybody has their own little techniques and tricks of the trade, if you will, for buying and selling their sports collectibles. Even if you are just Mr. Jones on the street that's collecting cards, buying boxes just for your own self, at some point or another you are going to want to sell something to try and recoup some of that money that you've put into the business, to get it back out, to reinvest, to build up your PC, to do whatever. Or you're going to open a shop and want to someday turn this into a profitable business. The sports collectibles industry is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry. The fact that people have the mentality that you cannot make money in this business astounds me. You know, there are, unless you're big, unless you're huge, unless you're whatever. For many years, I've studied the sales part of the business and how people are doing what they're doing out there, whether it be at shows like the National, Plano, Texas, or the East Coast National in Willow Grove. Lots of places out there you can go on a big scale to do your shows. Lots of, some would call rinky-dink mall shows, fire halls, and, bingo buildings, if you will. The fact is, there's a lot of ways you can make a profit in this business as a dealer, as a collector, just even break even and get ahead a little bit to try and recoup some of what you put into the industry. Number one thing I think we're going to talk about dealers and shows first. And I think people fail to recognize dealers, whether you're large or small. They fail to realize that the customer is the person bringing you their money, their hard-earned money. A lot of people work very hard for their money, day in, day out. And the fact is, it's hard to part people with their money sometimes. I get that. What people want in this business, let's take the National, for example. You go to the National and you've got hundreds of dealers there, a lot of times offering the same stuff, right? How do you sell something for a bigger price than what the other guys do? What do? They offer a service quality that you don't get with other people. Lots of people put down, some of these dealers that put a little bit higher price tag on their stuff, or everybody wants the best deal. The best deal isn't always the best price. If you've ever been a part of sales, you understand, number one, you're not going to beat everybody. eBay affords millions of people the ability to sell their cards online at any given time. So what you want to do when you go to a show, when you set up a show, you want to offer an experience that people can't get anywhere else. I think that's something I think we fail to realize in this business. When you're setting at a show, people get their instant gratification. They get their card right there. They get to see it. They get to hold it, look at it, actually see the card before they give you the money. That's a big deal. And yeah, dealers have their overhead, the costs of the tables, the show, all that stuff. If you provide an extraordinary experience for the individual, you'll quite easily be able to overcome the fact that Bill Jones down the aisle has the same card at half the price. What do I mean by that? One of my good friends is a former dealer. His dad and he had a business. He would tell me stories about the old days in the early 80s and so forth. His dad, one of the things that he had a principle to, that he would not waver from no matter what. Early 80s, you got to remember, the business was just getting going. A lot of these guys were used to setting up at flea markets and so forth, and when regular shows started coming along, his mentality was, long story short, don't ever come from behind the table. Don't sell from in front of the table. Don't ever get from behind the table. I say the opposite. I say either one, at a national where you have a booth, set up your table so it's a U shape, so you're in front of the customer, so you can go over and you can talk to them. You can create a personal relationship with somebody. Get to know them for a minute. I mean, I know we got seconds a lot of times, right? But create a personal relationship. Ask them what they're doing. Ask them what they're looking for. A lot of guys don't like the price cards at big shows in particular. Especially if they do a lot of shows in a year, prices can go up and down, and you don't want to commit to anything. You don't want to stick a price on there. Obviously, putting a price on something is the first thing you want to do. If you don't move your inventory quite as quickly as some of these guys do, that's fine. Don't put a price on it. That's okay. But know the price off the top of your head. Know what you got in it. Know what you want for it when you're setting up. Take that extra time. It may be an hour or an extra minute, or here and there. Know what you want for a card. When somebody asks you the price on a card, be quick with it. Don't go over and I gotta check Beckett. I gotta check the standard catalog. What? You don't know your product that well enough that you don't know what you got in it, what you want for it right away, quickly off the top of your head? Yeah, it sounds like a little extra work on the front end. Even get yourself a spreadsheet or whatever you have to have. If you can't memorize the prices, know what you want for something right away. And if it's too high for somebody, let them know you'll work with them. Let them know. A lot of times with sales, you bundle stuff. You get stuff together, maybe 2, 3, 4 items. Hey, maybe I'll give you a price break if you buy a couple extra things. These prices aren't firm. I'll work with you. Number one thing is moving product, selling it, get it moving, so you have some equity, so that you can go and buy the next thing that's coming down the road, right? Especially in the vintage card market where stuff's drying up. I understand a lot of guys price things at replacement cost. You're not going to sell a whole lot when you do that. You want to try and, just as much as you want to buy collections at a bundle price, you want to sell your things at bundle price too. Try and get that percentage out of there. Get them to pick up a couple extra things that maybe you only have a few cents in, or that was part of another collection. Hey, you get a couple of these things, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to get a couple extra dollars on that so I can get, closer to the price that I want, maybe more comparable to what the customer's looking for. This also is a big factor when it comes to running a card shop too. Card shop, let me branch off into, from the dealer standpoint, it's setting up at shows. Setting up at a card shop, you've got a presence where you can get to know everybody that comes in your door for the most part. You've got people from visitors from out of town and so forth a lot of times that will come into the shop. But what you want to do is you want to start to get to know people. Even if you don't know somebody, ask their name. Hey man, what's up? My name's Joe. What's your name? My name's Paul. What's your name? Ask them their name. Everybody likes to talk about themselves. What are you looking for? What are you into? Worst experience you can have is when you walk into a card shop and find a dealer or an employee that doesn't even want to have anything to do with it, or has like a scowl on their face, or this feels like it's painful to even wait on you to ask you, maybe a couple simple questions as to what you got going on. Hey, what's doing today, man? Well, what's going on? What do we got? What are we looking at? Something like that. See, what are you looking to find? Is it something new? Something old? Are you PC? Who do you PC? Who do you like? Who's your team? And as you start doing that with your regular customers, you're going to end up keeping things in the back of your head. When you do purchase collections, you'll be like, oh yeah, Joe's looking for that. Hey, this guy's a Steeler guy. This guy's a Patriots guy. Keep stuff set aside. When they come in and say, hey, you know what? I just got some stuff in. I'm going to show you what I got. Sell it. Be a salesman, right? That's how we make money. We're salesmen. We're all salesmen. People don't like to admit that dirty little secret, right? People think we're just hobbyists and we're collectors, and we are. We're all collectors. But you know what? The dirty little secret of the hobby is we are salesmen. Admit it. Embrace it. We are salesmen. Definitely, right? And we connect with that personal connection with people, you're going to be able to garner more trust, and you're going to be able to make more sales. I'm going to elaborate on that in the next few episodes. We're going to go into a few other things with regards to techniques, maybe something you could implement in your shop, implement as a dealer at a show. What do we got going on? Let's see what's happening, right? Hey, that's my best advice for today. Start to think in terms of sales. Whether you've ever been in sales or not, guess what? Part of the hobby, you're in sales right now. This is sales. Customers, customer experience, sales. How do you garner more sales? That's going to make you more profitable in this business, and that's going to eventually lead, if you're a collector, dealer, whatever you are, it's going to garner more profit, more PC, more whatever. Next couple episodes, we'll talk a little bit more about the hobbyist and the collector that actually sells stuff on the side, just trying to make some money to recoup what they've got into business. All right? It's been a beautiful day today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day, and keep on collecting. I love you all.